Hello, beautiful souls. I am so excited to be able to share this space with you today and just to be able to talk about things and be able to go through and contemplate beautiful topics that arise. So, Spirit has guided me to bring about the focus of Soul Tribe. So, friends, your friend group, your family, your people who you connect with. Now, as this might be a completely different way to view things, and I also, right, so like explore this area. If this is different than what society has taught us up until now, you know, there's certain things to challenge. So for me, growing up, I moved around a lot. So as I had said in my video cast, that I didn't really understand or resonate with like long-term friendships, and quite honestly was pretty comfortable with just leaving, like completely, like just up and gone. So to have friendships that followed me through life was very foreign. And, there are a couple that I had kept in contact with, but really the thought of having one friend group my whole life is very foreign to me. And really a lot of pressure, actually. So through when we grow up, now typically I feel most people stay in like at least one or just like two places in their life. I honestly don't even know what the average is for moving around time. So most people stay in like an area for one time, and they learn their friend group, and like as you grow up or grow older, your friends change. So why wouldn't they change as you mature in life? Like if you have different values or different mindsets, different focuses, and different ways of learning and expanding. I see a lot of times that people really like to put out on Facebook, like, you're not my true friend if you blah 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 do this, or you're not there for me. Like you see the people who show up for you when you're down in the dirt, like those are your true friends. Like can we really learn to look at that differently? Because that's not necessarily true. In the fact of, I genuinely have love for everybody. There are certain people that I open up space for because my time and my energy is very precious, and me and my kids are number one, first of all. So I feel that when this just all comes back to radical self-love again. I don't blame anybody. Like there were times when I'd be like, "Oh, you weren't there for me when I needed you. I see who you are," or, and I have expanded beyond that, where it's like those times when I felt so alone was creator's way of being like, you need to understand that you are everywhere. I am everywhere. Like source is everywhere. And that is when you're being cornered to surrender to knowing that you're not alone. When we see that we in times of feeling the most alone in the world, we are being guided to go inward and to seek connection with source. So why are we blaming that on other people? Like, why do we put that on people as like, oh, it's like, oh, I'm sorry, you need to put everything else on hold in order to be there for me. And granted, this, and these are, I'm just bringing this about because it's kind of a distorted, it's just, it can be a distorted way of looking at people when, people have their own lives and things to do, and because that they are maybe not in a space to be there for you, like that is okay. That is okay. And that doesn't mean that they love you less. The other thing too is like, if you have people around you, and this includes family, right? I'm not just keeping this to friends, because just because you have blood relatives does not mean you have to be loyal to them. Now, I'm not saying, like, boundaries are put in place until you learn how to love yourself, until you learn how to, like, really give yourself everything that you need without anybody else. Then, or being it's not even without, I don't need anybody. It's like without other people's influence, you're solid. Like, nobody can really influence your way. And that's when you know that the boundaries that you may have set are, they can, they can dissolve. Because like I said, again, boundaries are meant to preserve your space and to learn how to really radically love yourself. And so we might have been born into families that don't share, that were completely opposite. And same thing with friends. Like, yes, life is only change. The only consistent thing in life is change. Why would we be, unless people grow with you at the same rate, which I find to also be kind of difficult, you're going to change your friends. You're going to change your core group of people. And there are a few people that will travel with you through life, that they'll come closer in, and be more a part of your reality, and then they'll move further away. And it's like, people aren't actually meant to stay in your life. People are actually, if we were to look at things, people are actually like activators. People come into our lives, they bring up what they are meant to bring up and reflect things for us to see, to be able for us to expand and grow into who our souls decided we wanted to be in this lifetime. So our core group of friends and our soul tribe will change because people make choices of how that, like, what that looks like. People make choices. People have different paths, and to try to stick with a friend group because you feel bad or you don't want to make, it's like that's not trusting your own path. That is holding you, it is suppressing your growth. It is also what do I want to say? It is really, not helping. Yeah, it's just not helping anybody, because you don't want to hurt people's feelings. But it's like, what if those feelings are actually what is meant to come up for them to be able to learn their experiences? So, and what if this helps them to teach them radical self-acceptance and self-love and nurturing? And so It's called people pleasing, and a lot of us, it's very it's very hard uh, to distinguish what that looks like, because we were taught we don't ever want to rock the boat or don't hurt that person's feelings and stuff. And which, yes, you can speak the truth and still be kind about it. Like, you don't have to be a dick. Like, you can approach things in a loving presence and still hold your truth and hold your space. It takes practice, but it's very achievable. So for me, and I'm bringing this up because through the many transformations that I have undergone, especially since becoming more aware of the mystical part of my life and indulging in that space, my friends group has completely changed. And I don't have like a friend group per se. I have many different people from all over that I connect with, all over the world, through Facebook, through mainly Facebook, but just like part of these beautiful groups. Then, like, I have made some of the most beautiful connections through social media, to be honest. Like, I freaking, some of the people that I have never met, I love so much, like, and have such a strong connection with people I've never met. So that's just really beautiful. The other thing too is, like, no, we're not meant to be alone. We're built for connection. But there does come a time in life where if we haven't met ourself, or our authentic self, that that would be a block and a barrier to truly connecting with others. And so there will then come a time where you do need to have space without people. And whether or not you use that space to expand and learn what you were all about, or if you find other ways to distract yourself, that is entirely up to you. However, that can be used for the most expansive initiation in your life. And you won't. That's so sad. I just noticed the seagulls weren't out because it's not warm enough. That's really sad. And why was I so distracted by that? You are meant to utilize alone time. We're just so accustomed to distraction that it's so uncomfortable to be alone. So learning what that looks like for you enables you to bring in new soul connections or new friends or new people that you relate to, because your interests and what you enjoy change as you expand and develop. So do your interests and how you relate and connect to people. So it is about a continuous transformation and allowing people in and out of your lives, and also continuing to build that solid ground within yourself to be able to allow people to come in and allow people to come out. So it's just it's a beautiful dance with the energies. Like, it's an orchestra, the way that the energies play out with everybody. It's all a divine orchestra. So I want to thank you all for tuning in, and until next time, I send you so much love.